Semana vile kavitu kanani sakaja na nani sakaja na logo ile uje kaona kavitu which one lakini alisema
I'm present, yeah.
Bruno. This on duty left from Bruno. Muton.
Accused persons, my learned colleague, Scott State.
Mr. Ojeki, you're condemned to buy tea for...
Actually, I understand. Because last time he was Odiumbu, so I've not seen him. So...
as a senior advocate,
yes.
you're condemned. Alright. Where are we?
Okay, for the purpose of the...
How is this council?
Yeah, but we think they are so intertwined that you cannot separate them. Yesterday, but one, when our clients were coming to Nairobi to report to you, somehow they were intercepted in Kiambu before they could arrive at their home. Then they were kept in Comunicado for almost 36 hours. They were released yesterday. So we wanted Your Honor to intervene. My learned colleague, Mr. Dewa, will give you more insights about it. But we want this court to intervene to protect the suspects. Your Honor, there are several laws which protect victims, witnesses, but now in this case, which is a unique case, we want also these accused persons to be protected against harassment. Because they always wait, when there's a mention day, they come and create a scene. And it is the same people who are doing it. This is a country governed by the rule of law and due process. Once you present a case before court, allow the court to adjudicate it and come with a determination. That is the rule of law. So, Your Honor, my learned colleague will give you some insight.
May I please apologize? Ndegwa, I'll briefly twice the same. Because I've
Can you tell me the same thing?
no, he will not tell you the same thing. I'll address a separate aspect, he's going to address a separate aspect. But before we do that, Your Honor, on the question of the inventory, if you look at the charges that have been preferred against the accused person, then you look at the inventory of some of the things that were confiscated. For example, the police is still holding a motor vehicle, registration number KCJ 413X, Hilux Surf. And then you juxtapose that impoundment vis-a-vis the charge being preferred against the accused person. Again, when you look at the inventory that were given to us by the police officers are still holding 4 underwears. They are holding 14 vests. They are holding 15 trousers. They are holding 12 shirts.
Counsel, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Courts will deal with exhibits.
I
that
understand.
actually been processed.
Well, this is connected to my application.
Yeah.
I'm laying the basis and the grounds of my application.
Well,
Just to show you what my senior Mr. Diek was addressing you.
yes.
When this case was being brought before Your Honor, conducted by the police officers, 4 days. The matter was well published in the media, and the publication of the media was a constitution of 36. The media forms part and parcel. Sorry, 34, Your Honor. It should be 34. The media forms part and parcel of even proceedings such as this one. That is to mean even matters that are happening outside court, before the court is seized of that matter. And because the court is not a blind court, and because the court is part and parcel of the public, then those issues cannot go unnoticed. Secondly, Your Honor, on Saturday evening, at around 10 a.m., the same thing happened. First accused and third accused were again abducted by the police officers. These police officers were wearing hoods, concealing their identity. While they were abducting them, they knew that they were supposed to come before you today to answer to the summons. When they abducted, and you know, I'm using the word abduction because abduction is extrajudicial. I'm not using the word arrest because arrest is constitutional. They blindfolded them, and that forms the basis of this application. To the extent that the abductees would not be able to tell where they are, where they were being taken, or which direction of this republic they were being held. As I invite Mr. Mburu, you have jurisdictions to issue protection orders pursuant to Section 8 of the Magistrates Act, which you must read in conjunction with Article 25, forms of torture or inhuman and degrading treatment. Going by the incidences that have been for client, only justicious that the court issues protection orders against the police officers, some of them present, so that the liberty of the accused person is protected, which addressed the question of his abduction. It's upon that press conference that then they were released by the abductees. They were dumped somewhere in Kiambu, and it was about 3 hours following our press conference. You know, kindly allow me to invite Mr. Mburu to retrace the
I wish to point out one aspect of the application that has been laid before this court this morning. And this is in respect to the rights that are provided are non-derogable and cannot be limited in any manner. And these rights being freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment or punishment. Request to this court, having cited that this court has jurisdiction under Section 8 of the Magistrates Act, its subjects, because being accused persons before this court, they are the mandate of this court, and this court is called upon to issue such protective orders. As I conclude, Your Honor, I would call upon this court to look at constitutional petition number 361 of 2015, 361 of 2015, AG. At paragraph 40 of that decision, Your Honor, it defines what torture or inhuman treatment is. And I submit that it is physical or mental cruelty so severe that it endangers the life or health of an applicant or a person who makes that application before the court. Experience the accused persons that are before court are facing. They are tracked each and every minute of their life. Essentially what has transpired is that the state has denied them a life. Once they get to a restaurant, there are people tracking them. Each and every movement is under surveillance. That is mental torture and anguish. We call this court to make a determination and protect the rights of the accused person that are before this court. That will
certainty in the statement that we are taking from the bar. We wish to present him to testify to that aspect only. Because it is that incident happened to him, who is now before you.
You are sufficiently.
We were guided. Only that we wanted to point out that we are so certain about this.
Let's not
We are most obliged.
that you are paid a good hefty fee, well instructed,
You know, that,
because you are articulate.
No, you're not,
And you have put your point
that is not the
succinctly.
purpose the way you made the
Let's
application.
hear what the
It
director
is not the pay that has
Director
taken us.
of,
It is the protection of the human rights.
Of course.
Joined that. My senior has indicated that they were not supplied with the investigation diary, the covering reports. I wish to indicate to the court that the file is in court. The same can be supplied before leaving the court precincts. There are other exhibits which have been mentioned. There's an issue to do with a vehicle, some innerwear, a vest, and a trouser, and 12 shirts. You know, I've liaised with the investigating officer who is currently in court, though actually he's not the initial IO. He has just been sent by his counterpart, and he's not able to. We are not able to respond as to whether there are exhibits in this case or not. We therefore also will be requesting the court maybe to be given a further mention for the investigating officer in this case to come and clarify as to whether they are related to this case or not. Your Honor, the other issues which have been raised on the issue of the abduction of the accused person and being held incommunicado, Your Honor, I wish to respond that my senior has alleged that this is a unique case, which I believe that all persons in law ought to be treated equally. Then secondly, Your Honor, I personally also learned of the same in the press. I'm not privy to whatever they're telling the courts in relation to the abduction. And Your Honor, it is our submission that if the police officers have other cases to investigate, then they are at liberty to do the same. But it is our submission that whatever happened is not even related to this case. My colleague, Mr. Ndegwa, has alluded that they were held incommunicado as a result of this case. But Your Honor, that is not true. Because eventually they were released to appear in court today. So there was no any aim as to whether they were to be put incommunicado and incarceration not to appear in court today, because they are already in court today. So whatever has been alleged here in court is not related even to this case. Then secondly, Your Honor, they have alleged issues to do with violation of the Constitution. Your Honor, I believe my colleagues know the proper procedure. There is no constitutional petition which has been filed, and they know the court which has the jurisdiction in the liberty to proceed to the High Court and file a constitutional petition so that we can respond to the same. Whatever is being said in court is submissions from the bar, and we are not even able to respond to the same properly. So it is our side that constitutional petition so that we can respond the same in a proper manner. I rest my case.
If you look at Article 10, Clause 2C of the Constitution, it protects the integrity of the process. So what we are saying, and my learned colleague have submitted to you, is that this interference is likely to impact on the integrity of the process, and it is falling on abuse because it is being done with a purpose to scare the suspects, which is not a tenet in the rule of law and in a democracy. Number two, Your Honor, if you look at the Mutunga rules, and you also look at Section 14 of the Magistrate Act, it gives you limited jurisdiction to address issues of violations of fundamental rights and freedoms. We know, all of us, that the office of the ODPP is innocent. We know that.
Sorry.
We know that the office of the ODPP is innocent. They have not even known what's happening from another angle. So what we need is protection, that unless there is something new, and if there is something new, then it can be stated. Because that is why the Constitution contemplates transparency, accountability, and the integrity of that process. Why should a public officer come hooded? Yes.
The crime and incident report, covering report, will be supplied immediately because the file is here now. Council, don't go away without those documents. Concerning the properties that are being held by police or any other body, an appropriate formal application backed by affidavit should be filed. Otherwise, the position of the court is that the court can only deal with exhibits that have already been presented before it, the formal way, under oath, and then it has become the property of the court. Then the court can make a decision on it, right? Otherwise, if the other properties that are being held elsewhere, if citizens have got right to property, if property has been taken away unfairly, let's apply properly under affidavit and say such and such property was taken under oath, and then serve the other party, let them respond formally, properly, and definitely an appropriate order would be given to restore those properties to whoever owns them. Suffice it to say that no one should be treated or subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment. And if at the end of the day it is demonstrated that there was such treatment and it impacted on the due process and the trial, this trial, then it will definitely, you will know that it will definitely count towards what kind of decision I will make at the end of the day. So if I find that the prosecution or the people they represent were out to make my life difficult and my work difficult and my decision difficult, then you know that it will count, isn't it? Otherwise, for now, let us come for the judgment. You will have the documents. Let's be ready for the hearing on 4th of December. Thank you for your patience and our good answer. Thank you for your patience and. So as you exit so quietly so that you can continue.
We move on? Yes. Begin?
Yes.
Yeah, so members of the press, thank you very much. We must first of all thank you very sincerely, because the moment we called upon you yesterday and we raised the issues of the disappearance and the abduction, the illegal and extrajudicial abduction of our client, you came out strongly and you supported us. And after that press conference, that he was released by the persons who had abducted him. So briefly, today we were in court and we have raised that issue, and the court has indicated that it will form substantively, it will inform its judgment when evidence is taken. But because this conference is ideally not meant for us, I would ask Mr. Njenga to address you and tell you what unfolded, because we are dealing with the police state, the police who are rogue, police officers who are supposed to abide by the constitution and by the law. They abduct an individual, a Kenyan, not necessarily Mr. Maina Njenga, a Kenyan. They blindfold you, and that's what the accounts you want him to give to the media. Mr. Maina.
Kwanza kabisa nataka kuwashukuru sana Wakenya na pia wanaazimio, wazazi wangu ambao walinitetea sana marafiki zangu, kwa sababu walifanya juhudi kubwa sana ya kupiga makelele wakati nilipata kushikwa na hawa ambao wanakuwa wakitusumbua kila wakati. Nataka ijulikane ulimwengu kote kwamba wale ambao walitushika hiyo wakati si watu ambao hawajulikani, ni wale watu tumekuwa na wao kwa hii kesi. Tunawajua, tunafahamu vizuri, na maswali ni yale ya kesi tu. Tungetaka kuambia Wakenya, kama kesi imepelekwa kotini, ni wajibu wa jaji mwenyewe adili na kesi. Si kesi inaenda kuprosecutiwa kwa manyumba za watu, kwa sababu tuliposhikwa kupelekwa police station, tulifungwa vizuri sana uso, gari ikaenda kama masaa mawili, alafu ikachenjiwa zingine, tunachenjiwa kama umefungwa tu na hujui unaenda wapi wala umesimama wapi, ama pahali unaenda kwa nyumba gani. Ukifika kwa hiyo nyumba tena unaambiwa unapanda kwa step, unapanda ghorofa 1, 2, 3 karibu ya 6 huko juu, ndio unapata pahali watu unaambiwa kaa hapa, hata hujui kiti ni wapi sababu wani. Alafu ile kanyumba unaenda unakuta iko kana mattress. Hiyo mattress unakuta nyumba iko na giza, unakaa kwa giza. Hiyo ni tocha ya hali ya juu sana. Kenya imeshakuwa na uhuru, na hizi masiku za Nyayo ziliisha kitambo. Ile wakati watu walikuwa na sababishwa na haya mambo. Ningetaka kuambia Wakenya, sisi tulichagua serikali hii yetu ya Kenya tukufu, na tumeshakuwa na serikali. Ningeuliza viongozi wote, hata rais mwenyewe, aangalie hii mambo inaendelea katika Kenya, kwa sababu haya mambo si mambo mazuri. Tunataka haki, na haki itendeke kwa watu wote, kwa sababu watu wote walichagua serikali wakiwa na imani ya kwamba itawasaidia. Lakini sasa inaonekana ya kwamba kuna shida. Mtu kama hana uhuru kwake nyumbani, akitembea maisha yake haiko sawa, kila wakati ni kufuatwa, kuulizwa maneno wa kesi iko kwa koti. Sasa hiyo haifai hata kidogo. Na ndio maana nataka kuambia, msiseme ati tujui wale watu walitushika. Tunawajua sana. Na hii system tena ya watu wanakushika na ni askari wamejifunga kwa uso, alafu unapelekwa kwa nyumba ijulikane na si police station. Hii tena ni kitu haifai, kwa sababu kama ni kesi ifanyiwe faragani, ujue kama umeshikwa umepelekwa police station ya Central ama wapi, lakini si kupelekwa pahali popote hata hujui ni wapi. Hii haki inafaa kuangaliwa, na hii kama ni police station inafaa kujulikana umeshikwa umepelekwa wapi, na unaulizwa nini. Wazazi wako wanafaa kuruhusiwa kukutembelea na wakili. Sasa wakati unafunga hizo njia zote na unakataza mtu apige simu, hii ni torture in itself. Ni kama mtu alifanya kesi na akakukatia, inafaa wewe ufungwe tu na hiyo kitu. Sasa tunasema that issue is very bad. We are urging the President of the Republic of Kenya to hear the cries of the people. Na unaona hiyo kitu ndio ilianza hapo zamani, alafu tukaanza kuona disappearance of our people. And isipoangaliwa vizuri, hii haitamalizia vizuri, kwa sababu tunataka haki, na haki itendeke kwa wote. So we are saying this manner of police officers coming to take people as thugs, and we know them very much. And we would urge people to know that the abduction was not done by people we don't know. We know them very much. Actually, we hope that everything that has gone wrong is going to be rectified. Nasema dakika tunasema hii nchi iko na shida ya gharama ya maisha.
Tunafanyia hapa. Maliza tumalize press conference. Atuendi. That is the harassment we are saying we are not going to bow to this harassment. We are not going to bow to this harassment.
Tunasema nchi ya Kenya
kuja hapa useme hivyo, kuja hapa kwa media, kuja hapa ufanye, kuja utuambie ni kwa nini hatuwezi kufanya.
Sasa tunasema hivi,
kuja hapa utuambie kwa nini hatuwezi kufanya hapa.
Mmesikia nasema hii harassment tunasema lazima iishe, na tunasema tunaendelea kufanya kutetea nchi yetu ili watu wote wapate uhuru na wapate haki yao.
Chairman, uliachiliwa aje? Na pengine tu utueleze pia
wakati baada ya hiyo mambo yote, mimi niliachiliwa nikapelekwa nikafungwa nikaletwa mpaka hapo Banana, nikaachwa hapo, alafu nikapewa fare Ngirimbiri ili niende nyumbani. Sasa nianza kutafuta dudhi. Nilianza kutafuta dudhi ndio niende nyumbani. So hii maisha ni kama si maisha mzuri, na tunataka tuombe nchi ya Kenya iwe na rule of law na tufanye kesi vizuri. Hata kama mtu wa opposition na anapenda Raila ni vibaya, tunasema haki itendeke kwa watu wote.
Mwisho Chairman, walikuwa na ni mambo gani ambayo ulikuwa unauliza huko Mlima Kenya ndio unaleta
ndio hiyo maana ndio ushawishi na nini na marafiki na nini.
Asante sana. Thank you.